So in this example, we'll go ahead and use the Statlet because it wasn't used very much in the video that you just did for the influencers. All right. A manufacturer of high-resolution video terminals must control the tension on the mesh of fine wires that lies behind the surface of the viewing screen. Too much tension will tear the mesh and too little will allow wrinkles. The tension is measured by an electrical device with output readings in millivolts, MV. Some variation is inherent in the production process. Here are the tension readings from a random sample of 20 screens from a single day's production. So we want you to construct an interval. I'm actually going to duplicate this so I can go look at the data while I type it in the Statlet. So we go to Statlet. First of all, what kind of data is this? This is numerical quantitative data. So we go to one quantitative variable because it's just one group of data. And I can say, okay, this is the tension in millivolts. We're putting in raw data. And so I could just go 269.5, 297, 269.6, 283.3. Just type it in with a space between like you've been doing all year. 310. Here's the good news. On a quiz or a test, I'm going to make it so you can actually copy and paste the data in. So, because I don't want to test your typing, right? I don't want you to have a boo-boo here. And this is looking good. I've entered this data before. That looks like the right mean. So here we have our dot plots and all sorts of other plots that we've done before. But what you want to do is you want to scroll down till you see perform inference. What we've been learning are intervals, and there are only two intervals here. We're not going to do that thing ever. We're doing a t interval because we learned about the t distribution. And here we want a 90%. So make sure to change the confidence level there to 90. And boom, there's your interval. Very nice, right? So that leads us, that's the interval that I just generated. And we are 90% confident that the true mean tension is between 292 and 320 millivolts. The manufacturer's goal is to produce screens with an average tension of 300 millivolts. Based on the interval, is there convincing evidence that the screens produced this day don't meet the manufacturer's goal? Well, 300 is in the interval, so it's plausible. We are not convinced that they didn't meet their goal. Looks like they probably did, or they're close to it anyways, because our range is 292 to 320 of plausible values. Now on to the next problem. On the bright side here is I didn't give you a bunch of data. The company also measured how many hours were required to produce each monitor. In a sample of 50 randomly selected terminals, the average was 3.4 hours. And by the way, this is a typo here. The mean tension, it's the mean hours. Mean hours. Let me just go ahead and type that in, mean hours. I'll fix it for next year. So if it's fixed, you know this is a different year from when I recorded this. All right, so I highlighted the key values. There's a sample of 50, the mean is 3.4, and the standard deviation is 0.82. So that's what we got from our sample, and we want to construct a 95% confidence interval for the mean. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to go back to the Statlet, and I'll just reload it. But this time, we are going to do hours. And instead of raw data, I just can click on mean and standard deviation. And the mean, we said, was 3.4, standard deviation 0.82, sample size is 50. Begin your analysis. Oh, it even defaults, sort of defaults. See how your options get a lot smaller because it knows that you're dealing with means. And we're doing a 95% confidence interval, so that's fine. And then, boom, 3.167 to 3.633. By the way, there's the degrees of freedom for you, which it calculated was 50. All right. So going back, there's the interval. And the way we interpret it is we say we are 95% confident that the true average is between 3.167 and 3.633 hours. Is it plausible that the average time is 4 hours or less based on the interval? Yes. All of our plausible values are less than 4 hours. So everything in here is less than 4 hours. The manufacturer's goal is to produce screens in an average time of less than 4 hours. Based on the interval, is there convincing evidence that they have achieved their goal? And we can say yes, because again, all our plausible values are under 4 hours.